All right, everyone. Welcome back. I am bringing another YouTube video to you guys. Today I'm working in the garage. Luckily, I had the day off. So, I know this is a long project I've been putting off. This is not my bike. This is a buddy of mine's. This is his old mud and trail quad, hunting quad. And, well, let me just say, if you're going to mud, you're going to end up breaking shit. It's just going to happen. Things are going to rot out, rust, bearings are going to go bad, seals are going to go bad. We're going to have issues. So, obviously you can see the swing arms out of it. And I could not find one video about how to put these new bearings in. And I have an idea. I've done swing arm bearings before on Honda Ranchers, Recons, Foremans, stuff like that. Mainly all Hondas. But there's no videos on how to put bearings in. There's videos of how to punch them out. But I can't find nothing. So what I'm going to show you guys is a sequence on how these bearings are supposed to go in. Okay. Obviously you got your pivot bolt. This is what's going to snug your swing arm up to your frame. This is an outside washer. You have an O-ring. And let me just pop this out real quick. Okay. Your kit. All right, let me back up a couple steps. There's a bunch of kits out there. But I went ahead and we ordered up the EPI kit for the, I think this is an 06 Kawasaki Prairie 360. Here's the part number. PU-1302-0131. Swing arm, or bushing swing arm kit. So, this is made by EPI. Hell, that might be the part number also. I'm not too sure. So, kit's going to come in a little bag. There's no instruction manuals. You're kind of left on your own. But I didn't know what the hell all this stuff was. I was like, where the hell these go? There's 4 O-rings. There's washers. I was like, what the hell? So, what goes in first? All right, well, you have your outer race. Okay. The tapered end, I say the thin side, not the fat side. The thin side faces out. So you press your race into the swing arm this way, not this way. You follow me? Okay. So that goes in first. All right. Then you take your bearing. These are not grease from the factory. I'm kind of glad they weren't because I will use my own grease. I usually use Marine heavy-duty wheel bearing grease. So this is what we're going to be using for that. So you put your race in. You press that in until it bottoms out against that lip. Don't force it. This is aluminum against steel. So you're going to end up doing more damage than good. All right, after you grease the wheel bearing, set that down aside, okay? Now you have your oil seal, which I don't consider this an oil seal. This is a dust seal. So then this seal gets pressed in. You don't need much force. What I'm going to be using to press it in, I have my press over here. I may use it, I may not. I'm not sure. But this socket here is a 30 millimeter. Doesn't have to be this deep. It can be a short, little stubby. But I noticed that this, without the bearing installed, will cover just the outside. You don't want to damage the inside of this lip at all. You want to stay on the outside of it. So you put that right on the outside, punch her in until she bottoms out. So, bearing, seal. This is what's going to seal up your pivot bolt in that seal. And if you look here, if you look at the camera, there's a lip here, flat side here. All right, so what you do is you take your oil, your O-ring, put some grease on that, then you install it inside of the lip of the oil seal. All right, once that's installed, you can take this double-sided washer. It's not, obviously you can see it's not like cupped or anything. So you set that down inside, right? Now you have your bolt. Grease this up really good. I wouldn't worry about putting, I guess you could put some blue Loctite on there if you want to. Obviously it wouldn't hurt. But honestly, I would probably use a little bit of Permatex anti-seize. Just in case when I do this again, I'm not fighting to get these out. Because they're a little bit of a bear. So once all this is installed into the swing arm, well, all of this isn't, all right, this washer here isn't going to stay. Unless you apply some grease and it might stick to it. So you're going to have a buddy of yours, your mom, your father, little brother, little sister. Somebody's going to have to help you guide this bolt through the washer. Follow me? And then against that seal there. Thing is like really zooming in. So that is the procedure. So I was trying to figure it out, and that's the only thing I could figure out. So makes sense. So it's gonna seal it out pretty good. That's the gist of it, right? So if you guys are wondering about your kit, you know, it does look like a lot of parts, but it's pretty straightforward. And these are actually really good bearings. These bearings, the part number is 30203. I don't know if these are made in the USA. Probably not. They're probably outsourced to China, Korea. You know. All right. They work. The same part number 2. So, race. The thinner side, the lip side, needs to be facing out towards you. Both sides. Dos. Not uno. Dos. Both. So, that's your kit. Hopefully that helps you out. This whole rear end is going to have to be rebuilt, except the gear, the rear diff. We might do seals. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, she was bad, boys. Thing is filled with water. I ended up just flushing it out with some ATF plus 4. I was reading reviews. You do not use ATF plus 4. You use like a hydraulic fluid. It's honestly cheaper than gear fluid. You can get it by the gallons. So we got to get this all cleaned up. Oh shit, I lost the phone. And we ordered all new clutch. Well, I consider them like clutch packs, but it's actually for the wet brake system. And then we got to put new U-joints in it. And then she should be set, because my work table is a fucking shit show. The bearing for the U-joint was shot. I bought a new kit for that. And one of these caps ended up breaking right where the C-clip is. I went to go hammer in the C-clip, and this whole cap broke right in two. So that was a piece of shit. U-joint, bought it off eBay. Probably won't do that. Have to go buy OEM, which is going to be a little expensive, but it's probably the best shit for it. So that's how you do the swing arm bearings. Punching them out is probably going to be a little harder. Only on, I think it's only on one side. And I think it's the short side. Because just the way that this swing arm is swelled up, you're not able to get into a good angle to hit the lip of the race. So if you got somebody that has a machine shop with bearing pullers, just take them there, because you don't want to damage your swing arm up any more than you have to. This swing arm's, it's going to be okay, but you can see it's pretty fucked in some spots. But we're going to take some emery cloth to it, sand it down a little bit, and just make sure we get a good seal on it. We want a good tight seal with the bearing race, the seal, And then once those are tight and you bolt it together, we don't want no play in the swing arm, but we want the bearings not to be binded. That's the key. You don't want to bind the bearings, because the more pressure you put into the bearing, you're going to create more friction, which is going to wear that grease out, push the grease out of the seal, and then you're ending up just going to burn that bearing out. So don't over tight. I usually like to torque them down and then back them off a quarter, just like you're doing wheel bearings on a car or a equipment trailer or something like that. So I hope that helps you out, guys. Give me a good thumbs up for the video. Subscribe if you want. I don't put out a whole lot of content. I'm usually home on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm busy. I drive truck for a living, so I'm always gone. So we got projects over here. We got my buddy Casey working on his, I don't forget what year it is. It's a KX250. That thing's fucking mint. That bitch will drop bras and panties all day. We got the Prairie. We got to get that thing fixed. Take the lift off. Put some better tires on it. We got the 650. I'm sorry, the 570. Took the Mudzillas off. Put these XTRs on, and she's fucking sweet too. So I think I'm gonna sit over here, maul down on some of these fucking donuts we've got, and I'm gonna fatten it out today. I'm gonna fucking after we get this kind of done and get the bearings in, I think I'm gonna take a rip out in the peat, and then let's see, we'll go from there. All right, guys, later.